Hey everyone, and happy Saturday, and welcome to Ask Dr. Heather. My name is Dr. Heather Carden. I am the co-owner of Carden Center for Wellness, and I am the media influencer here on Ask Dr. Heather. If you've been following, we have been doing a keto basics series. So people trying to switch to a keto lifestyle, trying to get some of your questions answered. So based on the hundreds, I think thousands of questions I have received, I am helping answer those questions for you. So a super common question. This is day 7, so we have 3 days left. I've got a huge list I'm trying to roll the dice between and see which we need to cover more, whether it's diabetes or thyroid or insulin resistance, or people just want to know the basics of a keto lifestyle. So best practices, things like that. But today, super simple. My opinion, keto and dairy. So for me, it is a no except for butter and ghee, which is clarified butter. Why do I say no to dairy? Well, after 20 years of experiencing what dairy can do to the body, knowing that the majority of people have a sensitivity or allergy to dairy, based on standard food testing, you guys can go look, dairy is in the top 10 food allergies. Well, what does that have to do with ketosis? Well, if you have a food allergy or sensitivity, it actually will raise your cortisol level. Your histamine response from your adrenal glands has to go out and fight that allergy. It can actually lower or raise your insulin levels, which can raise your cortisol level and disrupt that whole process and can actually keep you out of ketosis or the height that you're wanting to. So lactose intolerance is simply just the sugar in milk. That's another reason not to do dairy, because it has lactose, which is just sugar milk. So I have found that being a top allergen, the top 10 food list, that ketone causes inflammation. In my practice, the majority of the reasons that I recommend that people actually do a ketogenic diet for autoimmune diseases, just chronic inflammation, invisible pain, aches and pains, cut out the dairy, whether it's on a ketogenic, paleo, or low carb diet. It's one of the top 10 things I suggest because it is pro-inflammatory. Secondly, people do a ketogenic diet for fat loss. Where does milk come from? And just FYI, I'm a farm girl raised here in Kansas. My dad milked 80 to 100 head of cows twice a day. So even with that being said, I have found that dairy, because we don't process it properly, it comes in all color little packages, a yellow package and a blue package and a red package. Is it really dairy, and what have we really done to it? So a raw goat's milk, raw sheep is different than what I'm talking about right now, which is just the lactose-free, low-fat, high-fat, whole-fat food dairy that we find. Dairy only comes from a girl cow. It's only done through a hormonal process. So when it's hormone-free, it just means they didn't give the cows any extra hormones to help produce more milk. It just means that there wasn't that additional put in there. But dairy still comes from a girl cow. It's still estrogenic. Dairy is meant to get a baby cow to a calf to 2,000 pounds in 2 years. We are the only country that drinks milk from another species after the age of 7, right? We get 5-year molars, 10-year molars. We're supposed to eat the steak. We're not supposed to be drinking the milk, especially as teenage boys or adult males. So dairy is a no for me because it is inflammatory. It is estrogenic, or actually helps increase estrogen. Estrogen's major job is to deposit fat. Estrogen has a lot of amazing sources, but a lot of amazing benefits for our body, but it does need to be in the proper balance. So eating estrogenic foods like dairy and soy and carbohydrates, which stimulate aromatase, can all throw estrogen out of balance. We see this happening with people who have a lot of cancers related to breast or high estrogen, whether it's cervical, whether it's breast, whether it's male or female. So I take it away for that. And number 3, if it is an allergen for someone, it will cause dehydration. When we have an allergy, whether it's to a bumblebee, my husband got stung and he's itching like crazy today, or it's something that you breathe in, when our body has a histamine response, it's pulling water out to help wash that out, right? So what that means is that you can potentially get dehydrated while eating foods that are allergens for you. We know on a ketogenic diet, it does an amazing job at pulling water out of fat cells. Beta hydroxybutyrate, though, that ketone body that your liver can make, can be dehydrating itself because of the amazing anti-inflammatory properties of a ketone body. So with that being said, if it's already a diuretic molecule, that ketone body, and you're having a histamine food, you could get further dehydrated, right? And number 4, if it is an allergy, I think my numbers are messed up. I should stop with the numbers. Is that if it is a food allergy for you, what happens is you put it in your body, either it flushes out really quickly because your body says, I got to get it out. So it could lead to dehydration and an imbalance in electrolytes, or it can actually lead to constipation. Your body puts it in there and it tries and tries and tries to break it down and doesn't get broken down. So there's several reasons why I say no to dairy. I've heard amazing experiences with patients who have tested positive on IgG IgG, IgA, IgM, to dairy, and let alone with the skin scratch test, they go over to Belgium, they go over to Norway, Switzerland, somewhere over there, and they have the milk over there, and they have no response at all. They have a glass of milk here, whether it's lactose-free, low-fat, regular fat, whether it's got a blue or red lid, they get chronic, crazy diarrhea, like bloody diarrhea. I see this in Crohn's patients, ulcerative colitis patients. So that is why I personally say no to dairy. However, you're going to see leading thought leaders that actually have a lot of success, like Dr. Adamnelli has got a lot of success using heavy whipping cream and dairy. So be your own detective. Listen to your body. A lot of us are not meant to digest milk. It's called a polydisaccharide deficiency, especially if you have maybe an Asian background or Hispanic background. You guys are not meant to digest, or my husband's American Indian, not really meant to digest dairy. So look at what dairy does to your body. If it causes gas or bloating or causes bad taste in your mouth or bad breath, probably an allergy for you. And also, as to be number 5, it's full of hidden calories. Oftentimes people go on a ketogenic diet, they start eating lots of little cheese sticks and lots of little cute wrappers or lots of little chunks of cheese, and they don't realize how much they're eating at one time. And next thing you know, they've eaten like 5 or 6 cheese sticks a day, or they're doing a whole cup of heavy whipping cream, and a tablespoon's 110 calories. So they're making these amazing fat coffees, but they're putting so many calories in their coffee, or they're making a nice little smoothie with tons of heavy whipping cream. Those calories do add up pretty quickly. So they're wondering, why am I not losing weight? You can be having too many calories because it is still a little bit calorie in, calorie out game. It could be an allergy for you. It could be driving your hormone out of balance, whether you're male or female. So that is Dr. Heather's reasons why I am no to dairy. I don't do dairy even when I'm not on a ketogenic diet. Would I love to have ice cream? Yes, but I do have on my blog, which is AskDrHeather.net. You can simply hit the subscribe button. There's 1,000 different recipes. There's only 2 recipes that have dairy in it. One is actually a keto, cauliflower crust, and then also the breadsticks I have a little bit of dairy, but I do use diet cream cheese. I will list down below some of the dairy-free substitute. You can use almond cheese, cashew cheese, you can use coconut milk, hemp milk, almond milk, cashew milk. You can make your own nut milks. Just simply take 1/4 of nuts or seeds and then blend it. And soak it first, then blend it with about 16 ounces of water. And you can make your own nut milk or nut seed milk yourself to get that liquid in there. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on there. I've had a few hundred people saying, why do you say no to dairy? It's on every single keto list. It's on every, if I show these books back here, everybody's cooking list. They all have dairy in them. How do we avoid that? Well, you simply take the dairy out, or you simply be detective. If you don't eat dairy for 5 or 6 days, and then you have a big wad of cheese or a glass of milk or some heavy whipping cream in your coffee or tea, and then you notice gas, bloating, or just a wave of fatigue, that's a pretty good sign you have a mild allergy to it. Just like when you have an allergy to something out in the air, your body produces histamine, which makes things swell up. That can be your stomach, your gut, your nose, or your eyes, or your throat. It can also cause a weird, funny smell out of your bottom, or over the table, or under the table, we say at our house. So be your own detective. If you suspect that you may have a dairy allergy, or it's keeping you from achieving the ketone levels that you want, or it's actually called a stall or plateau and you actually haven't lost the fat, start journaling your journey. Write down exactly how much heavy whipping cream you're using, or how many cheese you're having so many times a day. So whether it's your keto breadsticks, or it's your keto muffins, or it happens to be in your waffles, just follow along how that does. Kristen, I'm going to talk about inflammation tomorrow, but I will shout it out here, guys. So that is my why no to dairy. So Kristen, you followed me obviously, and I have been diagnosed with RSD, or chronic regional pain syndrome. And what the ketogenic diet has done for me is it has actually stopped my seizures. It has stopped all of my tics. It has increased my muscle strength, my lean muscle mass. It has helped keep my weight at a healthy balance, knowing that I am still in a wheelchair. Definitely helps my pain and definitely helps my swelling. So if I have any dairy at all, my knees swell up like the size of a golf ball, all hot and red. But for my RSD, because it's called reflex sympathetic dystrophy, I choose to be on a ketogenic diet because we know in a ketogenic state, your body actually protects its lean muscle mass. There's an enzyme called myostatin that actually breaks down your lean muscle mass, and it actually stops it. So I guess I'm talking about inflammation today. So for RSD or someone with a dystrophy or chronic pain, a ketogenic diet is an amazing tool to help protect your lean muscle mass, help control pain, help keep the signaling from the brain to the rest of your body. Also helps me sleep amazingly. It slows down the oxidative stress when you start looking at ketones and aging, so it helps slow down that oxidative stress. So thanks for asking that question. I am going to cover inflammation tomorrow, or maybe I'll take a couple days off and we'll cover it on Tuesday. I do have a whole video series, Kristen, that I will tag you in, but thanks for asking that question. I would thank everybody for joining me today. So I do encourage you, Be your own detective. Journal your journey, write down what you're eating, and then write down what your body is telling you. Again, if you get sleepy, if you get fatigued, if you get gas, you get bloating, or maybe you eat this whole big plate of food and you're still hungry, that could be a sign something's off. And know that you should be evacuating twice a day. We should be urinating 6 to 8 times a day. Yes, just like a newborn baby. Often people are dehydrated on any type of diet that they choose. When you're eating processed foods, even if it's a ketogenic diet, you're having processed bars and meals in this, know that you can still get cellular dehydrated. You can still have a high histamine response. And thank you for the hearts and the thumbs. Who's ever sending that? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today is day 7. I look forward to your questions. Keep tagging your questions down below on this and the other posts so I know what you guys want to talk about on our 3 days left about ketone, the keto basic lifestyle. Also, you can hop over to Instagram, which I'm Ask Dr. Heather, my blog, which is askdrheather.net. Also, tons of questions there, tons of articles based on all lifestyles, whether it's paleo, low carb, keto. And again, great information on my YouTube video on I take these videos, I tag them. It's not perfect, guys. There's no pretty crafty artwork, but I do tag them over there so you can just join in and listen and help find some information that you want. I will be talking about ulcerative colitis because I got a few hundred questions about that. We did talk about inflammatory bowel disease about a month ago, but people are like, UC. It is being diagnosed rampantly these days. So we'll be talking about ulcerative colitis in a 3 or 4 minute video next week. So stay tuned for that. Again, ask, act, achieve. Ask me your questions. Let's take some action and achieve the health goals that you desire. You guys have an amazing, amazing extra long weekend. Take some time for yourself. Save some time for your family. Shut your TV off. Go play some cards. Go outside and play some Frisbee. Enjoy all the college football that's going on this weekend and have just an amazing, amazing weekend. And I'll be back with you guys soon. Have a blessed day.